Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining this Thursday edition of Reporter's Notebook. I'm joined this afternoon by Victoria Holmes. Victoria, first of all, thank you for joining me here in the digital studio today.
Of course, I love doing these, so thank you for having me.
I do as well, and what we're going to talk about today is probably one of my biggest killers here, this spring, this summer, allergy season. Your story was surrounded by allergy season. You can kind of hear it in my voice. I promise it's not COVID. I have the world's worst allergies. My eyes puff up. I've got to take allergy medicine every day. But talk to us about your story and how it really impacted people here in the East today.
So this is the first time that I've been able to actually see pollen. And because I'm seeing it, I guess that's probably contributing to why I am experiencing it so much more. So I was like, there has to be like a story behind this. Like, what is going on? Why are my allergies so bad? And then it turns out that this, allergy season is actually pretty bad in comparison to previous ones. I mean, you don't have to be an expert. If you have allergies, you don't have to be an expert for me to tell you that, right? Or to have any expert tell you that. If you're suffering out there, you're probably dealing with itchy eyes, coughing, and all that stuff. And so, this season is particularly bad simply because of we had a very wet season, and that contributes to the pollen because more plants are spreading their spores. And then there's also the fact that the ozone layer pollution, that's also kind of contributing to a few things. And so it's just basically a really, really bad season if you're an allergy sufferer.
Great. Well, for people like me, we don't like to hear that stuff.
Right, yeah.
My sneezing has been nonstop. I wake up in the middle of the night. I can't breathe. I'm like, this is awful.
Yeah.
But it's something to say. I'm from up north, right outside of Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. My allergies are bad up there, but it's a different type of pollen, I would say. It's more tree pollen and pine. I believe they're pine trees down here. But being able to actually see it is something I've never experienced before until I moved down here to North Carolina.
Yeah. And he's saying in North Carolina, it's cedar, but they're seeing all types of pollen. He said that's something that's very different about this pollen or this allergy season is the fact that they're seeing all different types. They're seeing earlier, usually grass pollen or grass allergies. Usually that happens later. But he's saying that starting in February, when the regular cedar kind of pollen started, so did all the other allergy, all the other pollen that can contribute to people's allergies. And it's just something that's he was even as soon as I walked in, I was like, "How's allergy season?" He was like, whew. Like literally, you could speak with. I spoke with Dr. Sharif Taha, and he is an allergist here in Greenville, and he was super, super nice. He's also a pediatrician. So when I walked in, I saw like the kids' stickers and stuff like that, and it was just a very, very nice interview. He was very informative. He said if you're an allergy sufferer, you want to avoid mornings, like at dawn, like that's the worst time to be outside. He said if you're, to mitigate some of the symptoms, if you're inside, make sure you have your air conditioning on, stay inside as much as possible. HEPA filters can help. If it's really, really bad, consider getting allergy shots, especially this season because of how intense the pollen is. He also said that if you're looking for, if you do want to be outdoors, this is doctor's orders, let me just say this. If you do want to be outdoors, the best place to be is the beach because there's less pollen at the beach.
Oh,
so,
well, I'm going to tell my boss I'm prescribed to a beach day now.
Right, exactly. So if you're an allergy sufferer and you want to enjoy being, because I'm an allergy sufferer, but I love being outside. I need to get sun for me to be happy. And so, so the best place to do that is near areas, like the beach.
Well, I love the sun too, but if you can tell here, I got a little bit of too much sun the other day when I was outside shooting my softball game for the community college. But I'm excited that I didn't know any ways to try and mitigate that. And
and wash your masks. Wash your masks.
Okay.
Wash them. They don't help necessarily. I mean, they help in the sense that they might keep you from like they're not on your face and stuff like that. But if you don't wash that, like if you use it and then you don't wash it, then having a mask to kind of help mitigate the symptoms is pointless. So
yeah, I definitely have noticed a difference with the masks as well with the allergies because when I'm out on Touchdown Friday, a lot of times because I'm outside, my allergies are they're awful. But I do remember my mom saying growing up, my parents especially, saying, don't touch your face. Don't do anything near your face because the pollen that you don't realize you touch even, on the door handles of the cars and coming inside. And I think the mask did help a little bit because I would put it on and stop sneezing, but who knows?
Yeah, the
We'll
worst
never know.
thing is when you sneeze in your mask, and then you're just then you just need to just clean your mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So clean your mask, people. That's our PSA for today for allergy season. But Victoria, thank you for joining me here on Reporter's Notebook. Did you have any other closing comments or remarks about allergy season?
It's just gonna be a bad one. So try to do your best. Try to do your best to mitigate the symptoms while if you're ahead of it. Otherwise, check out the article, the online originals, and it'll have all the information we talked about here, as well as from the newscasts about how to mitigate your symptoms and how to tell the difference between pollution and pollen and how that affects your symptoms.
Interesting. Okay. So for you allergy sufferers out there, you're not alone. We're there with you, but hopefully Victoria's story will help you out a little bit in the long run, just kind of ways to try and lessen the sneezing and the itchy eyes and whatnot. So Victoria, thank you for tuning in and joining me here on Reporter's Notebook. And for you guys watching, thanks again for tuning in. See ya.